Last week I met a guy named Al Cowan. He brought a 23 Dorado into the shop that he wanted to get customized and renovated. We went over some things he had on his list. One of the main things he wanted to address was his dual station T-top. He wanted to get rid of it. He wanted to eliminate the second story on the top, and he wanted a nice, simple, clean top with a lot of shade. I recommended he take the boat down to Birdsall Marine, meet Bobby, and go over all of his options.
I had the pleasure of meeting Al. He showed up at Birdsall's recently, and we went over some stuff on his 23 Dorado. He had had the boat since it was original and wanted to do some considerable changes. Didn't want the hassle of the folding deck tower anymore, wanted just to make it easy to trailer and launch the boat. Was interested in making sure that he had plenty of sun coverage. There was some criteria with the console being having to open up to get to the rigging, which had a few challenging points for Birdsall. The existing deck tower that he had was kind of just built around the console, sort of in the aisleway, if you will. So we wanted to try to get the leg assembly tighter to the console, and we were able to come up with a few good ideas for Al on that. After listening to Al and taking in consideration all of his different characteristics and needs that he was looking for in his new build, we went back to the drawing board and came up with some great ideas for Al. In Al's build, you know, what we do is we fabricate a blueprint of the top section, and somebody will fabricate the sunshade, as we call it. At that point, all the dimensions are taken, the top section's done, it's mostly welded out. The canvas guy comes down usually and fits the canvas at that point. The Weblon that Al picked is a duplex color. It's usually a lighter color on the top. His was ivory with sand. And what's nice about it is the Weblon can be wiped off. It's a vinyl style material and it doesn't leak water. In the fabrication of Al's top, when we were tacking the new T-top up in the boat, you could see from the old leg assembly that was removed from the deck tower, you could see how much wider the foot placement was versus the new design, trying to bring the legs in and make them compact so he was able to walk around a little freer in the boat. The leaning post also was very similar. There was a particular area where the deck had some hatches, so the leaning post had to actually come down and mount on an existing area on the deck, so the leg assembly was actually a little bit narrower at the bottom than it was at the top to give him an adequate seat width, also housing the bait well. Also in the fabrication of Al's top, the console opened up for rigging, and one of the challenges was being able to open the console, but yet the T-top has to be rigid enough and be mounted to the console so it's not rickety or shaky in any way. So we had what we would call struts coming off of the T-top going down to the console with breakaway pins. What a breakaway pin is it's a type of machined item that allows it to break in half, removing 2 bolts out of each pin, and that allowed the T-top to be securely mounted to the console when the bolts were tightened up. However, when you wanted to rig the console, you would undo the bolts, and the console was hinged in a particular area, would allow that console to continue to open up, so any rigging or any wiring that needed to be checked or done would be able to be, you know, serviced at that time. The whole item at that point is welded out. The canvas guy obviously finishes his canvas. The welder finishes welding the whole top, and then the rigger would get the top at that point, and he would machine the top and pull all the tin wire through the framework, and then the canvas would be laced on. We want to make the canvas tight. We want to keep it the same reveal all the way around the frame. Once that's done, the lighting will be installed and hooked up, and then after that point, that top's ready to go on the boat. The top on the boat came out wonderful. We achieved a lot of different areas that Al was looking for. All in all, everything was very nice. I think he'll be extremely happy.
So Al brought the 23 Dorado back up to Stewart. After he got done talking to Bobby at Birdsall Marine and going over all the options for his top, we're going to be able to start to peel this boat apart and actually dig into this project.